Hello and welcome to the Have You Seen podcast brought to you by Dave on Film. I'm Dave Woollin and today the show is going back to its roots. I'm going to be sitting down with my good friends Chris and Sian Lawlor and we're going to be talking all things Sinners, a film that they know absolutely nothing about. So I've said to them, have you seen Sinners? And they haven't. So we'll get to that. Stick around for that. I'm also going to be going through the films that I've watched this week, and I will also be going through as usual, the box office top 10 in 10, where I'll be giving you a whistle stop rundown of the UK box office in my 10-word reviews. So, how's everyone's week been? It's been a really busy week for me. It's been quite a wrestling heavy week. So this weekend it was SummerSlam weekend. So I'm a big wrestling fan. I've been to I keep saying three WrestleManias. I've been to four WrestleManias now, and I went down to Wrexham to my friends who live down there. So Chris, who I've known basically, I met him at WrestleMania. We do touch on this when we're going to chat. But we met him down at WrestleMania in WrestleMania 24 in Orlando, and we've been really good friends ever since. We've been to other WrestleManias. We're going on holiday this year, but I tend to watch a lot of wrestling with them. So I was down there with him and his wife Shan, who I used to know, and basically they're together because I fit them up. And I did a bit of matchmaking. So that's what I spent most of my weekend doing. I was down there on Friday night. We stayed up till about 3 o'clock in the morning watching SmackDown. Stayed up Saturday night watching SummerSlam with some other friends, and that was night one of SummerSlam. Then SummerSlam night two on Sunday night, which was SummerSlam night two was amazing. If you're not a wrestling fan, it was just one of the biggest spectacular shows. SummerSlam is like the second biggest show after WrestleMania. Obviously, if you're not a wrestling fan, this will mean absolutely nothing to you. And then aside from that, I got back and I'm moving, so I spent Monday night and Tuesday night basically wallpapering, and I've got no wallpapering skills, but my brother-in-law Rich was doing it with us. I was doing the top bits because he's knackered his arm up, basically. So I was helping him with that. And in between all that, I've been watching some films. So I'll give you a quick rundown of what I've managed to watch this week. So I watched a film called Harbinger, which I'm not allowed to talk about yet. I'm going to talk about it on next week's show. There's a bit of an embargo on that until next week. So I'll talk about that on next week's show. That's a horror film. I watched a lovely film called Holy Days, which is a New Zealand production, and it is a story of some nuns who basically they're getting their nunnery shut down and they don't want it to go. And the only way that they can save the nunnery is to get a hold of the original plans, which means they can't knock it down. It stars Judy Davis, Miriam Margolyes, and Jackie Weaver as the nuns. And there's a young lad in it, and I think it's his first film, called Elijah Tamate, and he's a young New Zealand kid who really steals the show. He's got a really bright future in front of him, and basically he plays a kid who he's lost his mum and he's struggling to kind of make ends meet with her not in his life anymore. He kind of is always praying to God that God will take him without really knowing the connotations of that, and he ends up go eat. So he kind of overhears the main people talking about shutting the nunnery down and knocking it down, plowing through it. So he tells the nuns, and then he ends up on this. He escapes effectively from his dad and goes on this journey with the nuns to go find these plans so that they can save the property from the property developers. His performance is really good. It's really believable. The film's got a lot of heart in it. So Nat Bolt, who wrote the script and directed it, this is her first feature film. She's actually in the film as well. And there's loads of really beautiful shots of the New Zealand countryside. And they actually use some stop motion animation, kind of from the viewpoint of the kids' toy set. So that's making the journey too, which is obviously just kind of fit in probably to kind of fill some gaps when they were coming to the editing and they needed some extra footage. But it kind of moves everything along, and it's a really good film. It's really funny in places. It's quite grounded. It's a good watch, and that's going to be coming out in cinemas on the 14th of August. So you've got maybe a couple of weeks until that's in cinemas. Check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. That's Holy Days. Obviously, I've spoken about. I've seen Sinners this week as well, which I'm going to talk about in the feature later on. I won't talk about that now. All my stuff's in there. I also saw the new, well, not the new one, but so basically, I saw that. So I'm a sucker for a cheesy musical, and Descendants, a great film. So the Disney films, and it's all based around kind of the offspring of the evil and the good people that we know. So you've got like in the original ones, you've kind of got Maleficent's daughter. You've got the daughters and the sons of sort of like Beauty and the Beast and their kid, and so they're all, the films are all about. There's loads of music in them. And it's really cheesy, and I love the first three. My daughter, when Althea were younger, she used to watch them religiously. And there's a new one come out, but I didn't know there'd been one before. So I've actually been back and watched Descendants: The Rise of Red, which is actually really good. It's like got loads of time travel in it, which I'm all for because you can play with stuff when you're doing time travel. And there's some all right songs in it. It's not going to set the world alight. It were a typical Descendants film. It was fun. It's everybody did decent performances in it. What's the face? There's there's quite a few. There's not that many people you'll actually know in the film, apart from Rita Ora, and she plays the Queen of Hearts, and she kind of does something, and they have to go back, and her daughter Red has to go back and effectively save everybody from her mum. So that's well worth watching, and there's some good, let's say, good films. There's some half decent songs. Your kids are gonna love it. I also watched Sunshine on Leith, which I tend to watch every year. It's a musical that's all about. It's basically about some guys coming back from the army in Scotland, and the lives that they come back to, but the struggle kind of fitting back into normal life. And it's a musical, but all the songs are the songs of the Proclaimers. So yeah, that one Proclaimers song that you know is in there, but then there's quite a few others as well, and they kind of shoehorn a story into fit to the song. So there's a Proclaimers song called like "Oh Jean," so there's a character called Jean. So it's really like it is proper shoehorned in, a little bit like the first Mamma Mia, which kind of shoehorned the biggest hits of ABBA into a film. But it's good fun. I like it. It's a laugh in places, and then obviously it's no spoiler to tell you that the big final number is the one that you're all going to know. So it's I will walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more, and a big group number. You'll love it if you like that kind of thing. The other thing that I watched was a documentary that I rewatched. So I was talking to Shan about this because Shan loves Rocky Horror, and I told her about a documentary that I watched on a preview a while ago. And I was lucky enough at the time to interview Linus O'Brien and Richard O'Brien. So they're the father and son or the son and the father. So Linus is the son. And Linus directed the documentary that kind of charted the creation of Rocky Horror and the Rocky Horror Picture Show, the stage show, and through kind of Richard O'Brien's life and his story, and coming up through the stage show, then being made into a film, and then kind of getting a new lease of life as a cult, getting a cult following, and everything that entailed. So Shan watched that with me. She loved it because she loves Rocky Horror, and I love to watch it again because like I said, I interviewed Linus and Richard a while ago. It's actually available on YouTube. I might actually put it as a bonus, put the audio on as a bonus episode, because it was really interesting to talk to them about it and kind of where the inspiration came from to make it. And a lot of the inspiration came from the song that kind of goes, "Don't be it, don't dream it, be it," and it's all about that, and it's about how people connect with that song and how the stories that came out of that song were the inspirations to why Linus wanted to create this documentary and chart, kind of what it means to so many people. Because Rocky Horror does mean a lot to a lot of people. It's not just about going to the theatre and dressing up in stockings and suspenders. We've all done that. But it's about the deeper underlying meaning that the film has got and the stage show's got, and it's kind of that allowing people to be themselves and express themselves and not feel trapped and be able to kind of let themselves go a little bit. And the film empowered a lot of people, and the documentary follows that, and it's a really good documentary. I would recommend Strange Journey, the story of Rocky Horror, to absolutely anyone. And Linus will love that I've given him another shout out, because I'm always doing it when I post it on Letterboxd, when I put it on, when I've done my review of it back when I did it. And I was thankful to get the interview with them. They clearly love it. It's a big part of their life. It's a big part of a lot of people's lives. So if you love Rocky, and if you've not seen Rocky Horror, where have you been? It's like, is it 35 years old now? Go see Rocky Horror. It's an absolute, well, don't go see it. Get hold of it. It's able to watch it. Oh, I think it's on Disney Plus now. Um, and it is well worth watching and just seeing what the hype is all about. So that's what I've been watching. But let's have a look at what the rest of the country have been watching in the cinema with the current UK box office top 10 in 10. So I'm going to go through the box office top 10, and I'm going to give you a synopsis, my short review of every film in just 10 words. So it's quick, it's concise. Unfortunately, there's two of them that I've not seen, but you'll see that when I do the review. But here we go. So at number 10, Jana Nayagan, which is an so the review, my 10-word review is Indian political thriller musical. Unfortunately, not seen this one yet. Number 9, Ish, racial profiling drama not currently being shown at my cinema. Number 8, Evil Dead Burn, gory demonic horror which is better than its predecessor Rise. Number 7, Obsession, horror of the year. Wishing for love goes horribly wrong. Number 6, The Invite, Olivia Wilde directed drama, plenty of laughs and tenderness throughout. Number 5, Moana live action, didn't need to be remade, but it's actually pretty decent. Number 4, Minions and Monsters, weakest of all the Minion films, starts well, weak middle. Number 3, Toy Story 5, better than the fourth, but that's not really saying much. Number 2, The Odyssey, as epic as they come. Go see at the cinema. Number 1, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Avoid all the spoilers and enjoy another awesome Spider-Man outing. So there is the UK box office top 10 in 10 rundown. And now it's time to hear my conversation with Chris Lawlor and Sian Lawlor as we talk Sinners. Sit back and have a listen to this.
With all the things that I've seen, I ain't ever seen no demons, no ghosts, no magic. Till now. Now get back inside.
I'm Dave Woolin and I'm here with Chris Lawlor.
Hey, that's me.
And Sian Lawlor.
Hola.
So I found out the other day that neither of them had seen the film Sinners.
Right.
So first of all, that's what this podcast were all about originally. It were like me recommending films to people that they'd not seen,
Yeah.
and then them kind of coming back and recommending films that I didn't see. So have a think about something that I might not have seen for later on,
Okay.
and then because then we can always do this the opposite way around. So I recommended Sinners because I mean, straight out, I absolutely loved it. Now, straight up, one of you, give us a synopsis of the film. and what it's about. Now, and don't go straight to. So before we start this,
Yeah.
I think we need to say that there is going to be spoilers
Huge
in
spoilers.
Oh, yes.
huge spoilers.
Huge spoilers.
And before we get to it, you knew nothing about
No.
this film whatsoever, did you?
No,
No.
nothing at all. I actually feel sorry for the people that went in to see it knowing what the
Yeah.
film was about.
So we'll get to that. So first of all, who wants to give a quick rundown of kind of what it's about?
I mean, I can try. I'm still trying to process it all.
We've literally just watched it, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's literally just finished.
Literally. How would you describe a film like that? I guess, okay, so it's set or start in the 30s, doesn't it? Prohibition era. It's very heavy on the music scene, the segregation kind of that was about at the time. I genuinely had no idea. I know you've already touched on it, but I'd not seen any trailers. I'd heard of it because we're not in that film space like you are, where you watch films and stuff all the time and you're constantly reviewing them. We tend to only pick up on trailers here and there. So yeah, I went in completely blind to that film. So yeah, so it starts off obviously in the 30s, the segregation, there's music, the kind of the main character, and I genuinely think he's the main character in it, is obviously Preacher Boy. He is the son of a preacher, little Sammy. And yeah, it's almost, I don't know, without completely spoiling it off the
Oh, no,
bat,
you can spoil it if you want.
I
'cause
just
we've given the warning.
Yeah, we have given the warning. For the first 25 minutes, I had no idea where they were going. And then at about the 30-40 minute scene, I was like, hang on a minute, is Bram Stoker about to pop out? Because they went full vampire on us. I was like, where's Wesley Snipes when you need him? Because literally, it caught me completely out of left field. I think the giveaway was in Burning in the daylight. As soon as I saw that, I was a bit like,
When you first see Jack O'Connell,
when you first see Jack
And-
O'Connell, yeah.
obviously you want to clock this at the time, but he kind of flew into the shot. He landed.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Because obviously he can fly, which you can see later on.
Yeah, of course. Do you know what? I remember him landing, but I just thought he was thrown. Why did I think he was thrown? I'm not quite sure.
Plus, it looked like he'd been beaten up as well.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously we're then introduced to the whole vampire thing, and I don't know. It just all takes a very gory, sinister, dare I say it controversially, somewhat funny turn at times. Because I think some of it was gore comedy for me. It was like stuff was happening. I was a bit like, yeah, okay, that's all right. And then other stuff was happening. I was like, oh, that's quite funny too. So yeah, I don't know. Ultimately, yeah, it was an interesting film. I really enjoyed it, but I don't think I can do any better synopsis than that, mate.
I mean, I think that more or less covers it. I don't think you missed that much.
No.
So obviously you've got Michael B. Jordan playing both Smoke and Stack, who are
two times
twins.
the wages. 2 times the wages.
Yeah, hopefully he did get paid twice. And obviously they're trying to set up a juke joint for the night in an old barn that's clearly been run by Ku Klux Klan members.
Yeah.
And some things happened previously, and we don't know what that is, and that all kind of develops.
Oh yeah, because I caught that. They asked about why have you washed the floor in the barn.
Yeah,
Of course.
and then you obviously towards the end of the film you find out why that why that happened and what they were actually planning on doing anyway.
Yeah.
So when you watch the film, it's like it's about like kind of evil and race relations.
Yeah.
And in a way, the vampires are probably the white man in the story.
Yeah.
Sean, what are your thoughts? I think you were a bit shocked by it all, weren't you?
Do you know, I am the biggest vampire film fan going. So I think had I known it was a vampire film before going in, I'd have had a predetermined idea of what was going to happen. And I'd have judged it like I judge every other vampire film against Blade, because or the Lost Boys, because that's what I do. And so I'm really glad that I went in without knowing. However, I did spend the first 40 minutes sat there going, what on earth is this film about? I don't understand what's going on. The casting was unreal.
Yeah.
I think they absolutely nailed it. Michael B. Jordan was awesome.
Yeah. I can't remember the actress's name who plays B-15 in the Loki series, obviously, and
yes,
whatnot. But
and Haley Steinfeld.
yeah, Hailey Steinfeld.
They were brilliant. It was a great film. The twist was awesome.
Revealed a little too early.
Yes, so
Revealed a little too early.
I said that when we were watching it, didn't I?
Yeah.
That I thought that the early scene when you see him jump in, so it's Jack O'Connell.
Yeah.
He kind of flies in, drops in, and goes to the couple who are the clan members, and it reveals more or less straight away that he's a vampire, and that's where it's going. I think that if they'd have taken that scene out, it would have made the kind of reveal later on a lot stronger.
They could have got another 20 minutes out of it.
I totally disagree with you both.
Yeah.
I absolutely wholeheartedly disagree with you both.
Okay, I love that.
Because I loved the fact that you instantly knew, and then it was the suspense of, okay, so who are they going to get?
Right, okay.
Who's the next person that's going to become a vampire? How is that going to come about?
Yeah, there is that, because there's that suspense then when they're outside the barn, you're going, oh my God, somebody stepped outside, they're going to be dead next type thing. So, I suppose that... And
I trains of thought, isn't there?
I think, But I'm one of the unfortunate ones that went... So I didn't see it at the cinema. I missed it at the cinema. And by the time it had come out...
Spoiled.
Yeah, and I'd listened to other people reviewing it, and it was getting... Everybody was saying that it was like watching From Dusk Till Dawn. And as soon as the comparisons came with From Dusk Till Dawn,
you know where
it was like, all right, so everybody's vampires then, and he's just going to be a big vampire. Because the trailer doesn't reveal anything.
No.
The trailer doesn't show any of that kind of thing. It just shows
Which is why
everything
I thought
else.
it was like an old school country-ish type film. Because even the movie poster just looks like Michael B. Jordan walking down like he's got his holster and everything on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so...
A bit like the Django.
Never, ever would have guessed that, It
is very much pitched like it's going to be, and even like the first 40 minutes or so is pitched very much like it's just a film about blues music, Deep South, race relations, and that probably clan are going to turn up and probably burn down. That's what it felt like it were going to be until you get that that thing. So Jack O'Connell, I think, is amazing in it.
Phenomenal. He's such a good actor.
He's quite... I'll be brutally honest, he's quite new to me. I like films, but you both know that I like a certain type of film. Yeah, but he's been in a couple that I've seen, but as in terms of relativity, I it was amazing.
He'd not been on my radar because I never watched. Was it Skins that he was in?
He was in Skins.
I've never seen that.
I never watched Skins, but in the same year that this came out, Bone Temple came out. The 28 years later film, and he's in that, and he's amazing in that as well.
Right, okay.
Obviously, he is in the end of the previous one, the 28 years later film. But if you didn't know it were him, you wouldn't know because he is such a great actor,
phenomenal actor.
He's really good. The music. I just do a special shout out to whoever scored that entire film.
Oh, the score was unreal.
Because the music from start to finish was, it was a bit of me, but my God, it was immense.
Yeah, well, Ludwig Göransson, he won. So the film picked up 4 Oscars this year. It picked up Best Achievement in Cinematography, which you can totally understand because it looks amazing. It picked up Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role, Michael B. Jordan. I don't know which role it was for, but
it's got to be Smoke.
It's got to be. Yeah, he should have got 2 Oscars, shouldn't it?
It's like the Slammies, just keep giving them out.
It got it got the Best Original Screenplay for Ryan Coogler, and it won the Best Achievement in Music written for a motion picture for its original score. I think that is for me, that's the heart of the film. It's the music, and it's that kind of the culture of Mississippi. So it's like that type of music from down south, and it's like the blues music and the scene in the barn that is an absolutely insane scene when they play the song that was up for nomination that year, and they play the song, and it's basically talking about how that music that they're playing then in the 30s or whenever it was set influenced everything else that came after it, and how they showed a guy coming in with the electric guitar who were obviously he was meant to be somebody like what's the guy called what's it?
Guy with the electric guitar.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of his name. Can't think.
Flash.
No, it was meant to be like Lenny Kravitz. It was
Oh, okay.
meant to be something like that.
Yeah.
And then you've got you've got rappers, you've got DJs, and it's like showing how that music has influenced.
There was a lot going on in that scene, but I
Yeah,
think they played it so well even to the point where obviously the camera panned up and you could see that the roof was on fire. Not really, but like you saw that kind of, and then as they panned down, it was the burnt out barn, and you had everybody was just having an amazing time.
It was like everybody were getting lost in that music,
just 100%,
and that's what that music's
Yeah.
all about, isn't it? It's about getting lost in
Cornbread.
it.
I didn't say anything during the film, but one of my favourite scenes was that where Cornbread was just still sat at the door. So
that barn was completely burning down.
Completely burned down.
Yeah.
And he just sat there with his arms crossed, still sat looking out the door. And I'm like, that's immense.
And there's all Reddick and his mates, all just
Literally,
watching them. But it's weird because that shot almost felt like they were seeing what we were seeing. But that's, I suppose, he wanted to be. He wanted that music, didn't he? So part of Remic's thing was that he was kind of absorbing everybody's thoughts, feelings.
He wanted it all.
Wanted that music. So when it shows him looking at the barn and still seeing it, is it him seeing that still burnt down? Have you seen From Dusk Till Dawn?
Yes.
Yeah. So can you see why?
Yeah, 100%. You can see why the similarities.
Yeah.
Or they're coin similarities, aren't they? Yeah.
And also in the earlier scenes, I think, because obviously Tarantino's in From Dusk Till Dawn, I think he had a hand in writing it. Maybe I can't remember.
I think so. Yeah.
He wrote it. He didn't direct it.
No.
But all like Tarantino films that come after it all have those. They're like very dialogue heavy, and it's just people talking. And a lot of this start of this film were that. And also with later Tarantino films, you've almost been. It's that thing of waiting for the thing to happen.
It's gonna come.
You know it's going to come. You know in The Hateful Eight, you know that there's going to be. All hell's going to break loose and everybody's going to end up dead. So and that's kind of the thing where you're waiting for it in this, which is what you said, Sian, because you know that he's a vampire. You know that they're getting in there at some point. And then obviously then you've got a few touching moments then towards the end because you've got the two, there's Lisa and Bo, and he's been changed.
Yeah.
And she wants to kind of be with him.
That's it, yeah.
And then when they open the doors, she sets him on fire.
And then she just stays there.
She stays there and she just burns with him, and they like burn together, and it's quite sad, really.
She was cold.
There is that.
I do think Smoke got his redemption arc. I think it clearly started with the whole they went back to Mississippi to start again.
Yeah.
Because it didn't work in Chicago. And obviously it's where his family was, it's where Annie was.
Yeah.
And then it ended with him saying that he would kill those members of the Ku Klux Klan if they came on his land. And as he died, he was back with Annie and his daughter. And it was like that.
Having done that.
Having done what he said he was going to do.
So in that, that's what I was going to ask. In that final scene, is he dead when he's being shot? And is that why he's seeing him?
Yes.
Seeing him?
I think so.
Have they killed him?
He's dying. That's his bright light. He's off to his missus and his child, and he's done.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Anyway, I think it was quite fitting.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm glad that he kind of got that. I sort of say the final nail in the coffin. I think it was good. As soon as he opened that chest and I saw them guns, I'm like, oh shit, oh yeah,
this is going full Tarantino now.
I was like, we've waited like almost 2 hours for this moment, but it's about to happen.
Like the full slaughter scene.
Literally. It was just. Yeah, it was an emotional roller coaster of a film.
Yeah, it was.
Because obviously there's a lot of it's. I don't mean this in any other way, but it's a story we all know.
Yeah, it is.
The Deep South went through years. I mean, most of the world did, but the Deep South went through years and years and years of persecution and segregation, and the Klan and all the rest of it. Of which we've got our very own story that at some point we might be able to share from when we went to Houston, and we were sat at that bar with them two gentlemen.
So a bit of backstory to this. Me and Chris know each other because I went to WrestleMania 24 completely on my own.
Yeah.
And that were in Orlando. And we met up in a bar.
Yeah.
We ended up going around Universal and that next day, and just kind of hanging out for the whole holiday. And then became mates, and then we went to WrestleMania 25 together, 27 together. And then, so this was a few years after we'd first met, and we were in this bar, weren't we? So
We were.
you tell the story, because it was amazing.
We were in the Hyatt, weren't we?
Yeah.
And we were just sat there. I think we'd had a couple of beers. We didn't necessarily want to go out, so we stayed at the
I think we'd had a couple. We definitely had a couple of beers.
We definitely had a couple. Okay, I was trying to be nice. We definitely drunk most of the bar. Anyway, so we sat there, and these two guys came across, and they were overtly friendly, I guess. But
Yep.
I love America. I love Americans. Most Americans are quite friendly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, and they love the fact that you're British and all the rest of it.
Especially at WrestleMania as well, because everybody seems to be there for the same thing. Yeah. So you've got that common ground of you can talk about wrestling, and then you can talk about America. You can talk about everything.
And everything that goes with it. It's funny, so we're sat there, and we were these two guys were talking to us, and we were talking back and all the rest of it. And they said some rather strange things, stuff that I'm not going to repeat. And you sit back and you think, at the time, maybe I'd had a few too many beers and they didn't quite twig on as to what they were saying. And then they were like, oh, well, yeah, you're more than welcome to come and join us. And we were like, pardon? He's like, yeah. No, if you guys ever find yourself at a loose end at some point soon, he says, yeah, let's exchange numbers. And at that point, I was a bit like, okay. I was like, my number won't work internationally. I'll give you my email address. So I think we exchanged email addresses. And anyway, we got talking, and they were like, yeah, so just so that you're aware, obviously, you may have guessed, I'm not sure, but we're card-carrying members of the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
Right. So we're sat at this bar in Houston, right?
Unbelievable.
Honestly, this conversation happens. I remember turning to Dave and being like, oh, how do we
He's like, oh, yeah, we've got to get out of this conversation right now.
Out of this. I thought they were friendly guys who were sat at a bar, and now I'm genuinely worried.
Yeah.
I was like, I was like, oh, it's late now. Oh, I've been drinking for hours.
That kind of thing still exists.
It blew my brains.
It's weird, isn't it? Because in such an open setting, we were having people coming up to us and openly, they'd obviously seen two white guys at bar and thought,
let's go and have a conversation.
Let's get them roped in. It's like, hang on, no. It's like, this is not how things work.
It was one of the most genuinely surreal experiences of my life, because being a boy from the hills of Wales and only ever hearing or reading or seeing documentaries about things like the Ku Klux Klan on telly and things like that, it was never, or in Bad Boys, bringing it back on point. In Bad Boys, I found myself in kind of that, I don't know, it was a weird headspace, like, how have I got myself involved in this? Needless to say, we didn't stay.
No, we didn't.
It was a quick exit. Thankfully, the pizza turned up at the right time.
Yeah, it did.
We ordered a pizza.
So strange. It was an odd situation. And it's like you say, it's that thing of realising that stuff kind of did exist and still does. Yeah. So that's why films like this are still being made, because they need to be made.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. I think the minute you forget, and I don't mean this I mean this as a generalisation, the minute you forget history is the minute history repeats. Yeah. I always use everything as a learning curve. Have, multiple nations made many mistakes? Yeah, of course they have. But that's why things like this exist. This film. It's to just remind people of stuff like that did happen, and it wasn't all that long ago.
No, it wasn't. When you think about it,
realistically, vampires really happen.
I know
vampires.
I'm a firm believer that there's vampires. I genuinely believe, and if they're listening to this amazing podcast, then please show yourselves during the day, preferably.
I mean, if vampires are listening to this, if you can like it and subscribe to it and listen to all the rest of the episodes, you've got loads of time you can listen to.
Especially if you listen at like midnight, because it's dark and stuff. You'll be all right.
It's like an episode of Goosebumps.
Yes. So, bringing it back to Sinners then. So, would you say you enjoyed it?
Really enjoyed it.
Overtly enjoyed it. Like, it was... because I had no idea of what it was going to be about.
And I was so glad So when you said you'd not seen it,
Yeah.
and I said, right, we'll watch that. Then about 5 minutes before we put it on,
Yeah.
I'm like, do you actually know all about?
Yeah.
And you're like, we know nothing about
Nothing.
this. And I sat there,
Yeah.
and in my head, I'm like going, their heads are about to explode. This is going to be this is going to go either one way or other. And I'm glad you enjoyed it because I the first time I saw it, I think that's the third time I've seen it now.
Okay.
And I love it. And I think you see, especially in that scene in the barn, you see more because there's that much going on.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff to watch. And I think this time, I think I took it in. I think the second time I watched it, I kind of had it on it back down, so I wasn't even really paying attention because the music is so good.
Yeah, you
can have it on in the background, and you can just it's just the sound of it, and the southern drawl of the accents and stuff like that. I absolutely love that. But sitting there now and watching it from start to finish again, I think I liked it even more than I enjoyed it the first time.
You called out a couple of bits that you'd missed.
Yeah,
so we were watching it. You were like, "Oh yeah, I didn't catch that."
Yeah, because they're telling a story earlier on about something that's happened someday, and you can hear in the background the actual thing. And I like that because what Ryan Coogler's chosen to do in that scene is telling you the story. We don't need to see it because you've seen. So it's a story about a hanging and a lynching.
A lynching, basically.
We don't need to see that because we've seen that in loads of other films, and you don't need to see it. But just hearing it, you're seeing it.
Correct.
You can visualize it,
and you were seeing the emotion of him.
Yeah.
So you were feeling the emotion of
Delroy Lindo.
Exactly. Yeah, of Delta Slim telling that story, wasn't he? You know that he was telling it, and you could see the emotion on his face. Because normally, you're quite right. Other films they cut to you'd hear him talking, and then you'd see that reconstruction of it. Whereas this did it very differently. So yeah, there was a lot of aspects of that film that I'd never seen before. I think the cinematography. One of the best things that happened for me in the entire film was them going from the one side of the street to the other, and they did it in that single take where obviously the daughter was sent across to get the Chinese lady from the other side, and you had obviously one side of the street was all for the white people, and then obviously on this side you had what was the segregated coloured side,
and that was one of the things that I called out again that I don't think I'd clocked
Yeah.
when I'd watched it previously.
Yeah, it was
because
that was
it's
immense.
as the camera turns, it's like all of a sudden there's only white people there, and she goes into the shop, it's just full of white people.
Correct.
And then she gets them and they come back across the street, and it's almost like the camera swings round again and goes, this is that side, and that's that side of the road does not mix with that side of the road. And again, it's sad that
it is sad, but that's how
thing.
it was. Rosa Parks. There's two sides to the bus, and it was crazy times.
It was crazy times. So that's Sinners. I'm glad you enjoyed it because I were pleased when because I stay up and watch Oscars every year, and I were really pleased it picked up the ones it did because it were the ones I expected it to pick up because I thought Michael B. Jordan were awesome, and I thought the cinematography were phenomenal. So it was like this deserves. I thought it might have picked up something for costumes as well, but whatever it was, one costume I forgot what it was, and it deserved it. So it was like, that's fine. I think the last year's Oscars, I think everything kind of went as I expected.
The gore was well done. I think some of the best gore was some of the bullet holes.
Yeah.
Like that, especially that one towards the end on Michael B. Jordan where he's shot, and not that I've ever seen somebody be shot in real life. Sometimes you see it on film and all the rest of it. It's a tiny little hole and there's a tiny little trickle of blood coming out and all the rest of it. But that, you could see clear entry, a bit of fat hanging out, and then the exit.
You can see the exit wound because he lifts it. Because normally you just see the hole in, don't you?
It was really good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really did. I'm really glad that you were like, see? I was like, no, I've not seen it, mate.
That's what this is all about. That's why I started this up originally, because there's so many films that people say to me, have you seen? And I'll go, of most films, I have seen. I say most films. There's a lot of films I haven't seen. Even big films, there's some real big films that I've just never got round to watching.
Seen far more than the average human being has.
But then I like to recommend sometimes the shit films that I've enjoyed. But then it's like this one, because one of the ones that I was going to recommend for you was a film called Young Einstein that you won't watch. It's shit.
Yeah.
but it's funny, and I just couldn't find it anywhere, and I couldn't
that
find it.
late 80s, that one?
Yeah, and it was a guy called Yahoo Serious. It was called
I
who
think, yeah.
actually sued Yahoo at some point, or
Oh,
they
really?
sued him for the name. And it's like it makes out that Einstein were Australian,
Oh, wow.
and the whole premise is that he creates a formula E equals MC squared
Yeah.
to split the atom, but he wants to do it because he needs to put bubbles in the beer that his dad brews.
Oh, Lord.
And he does. He puts it in, but he like blows shit up while he's doing it. So then he has to go to France, I think it is, to patent the idea.
Wow.
It is ridiculous. He eats manicure on the way, gets locked up for it.
I'm glad we watched Sinners.
There's a scene in it, because you're probably never going to watch it. There's a scene in it where he has to drain, and there's an atomic bomb because somebody builds a brewing machine that's
Right.
going to split a load of atoms at once, but it's obviously an atomic bomb.
Right.
And the only way for him to drain the power out of the atomic bomb is for him to plug an electric guitar into the atomic bomb and play a song in 4/4 time, a rock song,
Lord.
and he drains the atomic bomb of all the energy, but he absorbs it. Oh, it's fucking ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, I think you got a better option. With
Yeah, we definitely did. Yeah,
yeah.
It's almost as good as that show you put on earlier. What was that?
Probably.
No, the one after that mockumentary.
Oh, Philomena Cunt.
Philomena Cunt.
Don't you diss Philomena Cunt in front of me.
I literally sat here for 25 minutes. I may have laughed a couple of times. For the rest of it, I was like, please give me David Attenborough. Please give me David Attenborough.
Cunt gives you more information than Attenborough does.
Yeah.
He only talks about animals.
Yeah, that's fine. I'd take Richard Attenborough. I'll take Richard. Give me Richard. Jurassic Park any day. Oh, yeah.
So I've not made you watch.
I don't know. I wasn't allowed to move.
No, I mean Sinners. Not
Oh, right, sorry.
So I've made you watch Sinners. So have you got any suggestions of a film that I might not have seen?
Yep.
Oh.
There we go.
I love
Put 50p in my wife.
I love a psychological thriller. I also like indie psychological thrillers
Right,
as well. Went through a huge
I think I know it.
amount of time going through films. Have you seen The Experiment?
Can you say it properly? It's have you seen?
Have you seen?
We've got Brandon here. It's literally it's not written on the next one.
Have you seen?
Have you? Have you seen?
How do you say? I can't say that.
Have you seen?
Have you seen?
Is it very Yorkshire?
Yeah, very.
Have you seen?
Have you seen? Wrong side at Pennines for me, love. Have you seen?
I've seen that.
The Experiment.
The Experiment. That's I think that's the one with is it Forrest Whitaker?
Yes.
And there's an English guy in it, and I can't remember who it is.
Ooh.
With the nose.
Yes, it's him, isn't it? You can't say that. The English guy with the nose. He was in Predators.
Don't put it in a bad way. It's just that's.
I'm glad he's got a nose.
And he was in the Pianist.
Yes.
The Pianist.
Yes, he was in the Pianist, and oh my God, what is he called?
I just remember Forrest Whitaker from that film. So
yeah,
I'm not great with names.
No,
I'm fine with
Adrian Brody. He's got the nose.
Yeah, he does have the nose, to be fair.
I hope he's not listening.
Okay, so you've seen that one.
Yeah, it's a beautiful nose. Though.
Have you seen Exam?
Yes, I've seen it. In fact, I think I watched Exam years ago. You told me to watch
You
it.
probably did.
Because that's the one where there's only one question.
Yeah, and it's a blank piece
and it's
of
a blank piece of paper, and they all just go mental.
Yeah.
Because those types of films are the ones that are on par with stuff. There were an era of films that were like, well, not like that, but like low budget, single room type films, like Cube. I love Cube.
Yeah.
That is an amazing
all those
film.
kind of films.
So yeah,
Okay.
unfortunately, I've seen Exam.
Was there one called Push the Button that was like that, or Red Button, or
There's the box.
The box. Sorry,
the box is the one where if you press the button, you get what you want, or is that the gift? And somebody if you press it, somebody dies.
Yeah, it goes, yeah.
But it's somebody you don't know, somebody random.
Yeah.
Like, would you push it if somebody random died?
Okay, last one.
Yeah.
Have you seen Compliance?
What the hell? No. What the hell is Compliance? Without spoiling it, because I'm...
Compliance is a film based on a true story.
You can't really say anything.
No, I can.
Don't say if it's going to give it away.
It's a film around how humans react when there are people of authority around them.
Ooh,
right.
That's a really good way. I'd have definitely spoiled it. That's why I didn't say anything.
Yeah, it does. No, right, I've not seen that.
Okay.
So let's see if we can find it,
I think we need to try and watch that.
and we'll watch it,
Mm.
and then we'll come back, and we'll do another episode.
Okay.
Let's go.
And another episode on compliance, because I bet there's a lot of people listening to this who've probably not seen it, if it's a little bit of an indie one that's...
Do you know what? No,
Flown
and I'm
under
not
the
going to
radar.
spoil it. I guarantee you, though, some people may never have heard of the film. I guarantee you they know the story because it was high profile.
Yeah, you see, I don't even know what
And
it is.
not
So
all that long
It's
ago either.
shocking.
2012.
I am going into this completely blind, and
Yeah.
that's the best way.
Bit like Sinners for us there. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
a
the
role
best way
reversal,
to,
yeah.
because like I said earlier on, the regret that I have with Sinners is that I knew it were vampire based.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
And then I was spotting things
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
No, good stuff.
But yeah, so that's another episode. In fact, that's Sinners
Sinners.
with myself, Dave Woolen, and Chris Lawlor and Sian Lawlor. Thank you very much.
You're
And
very welcome.
it looks like we need to go off and watch Compliance now. Then,
Looks like we're about to do it.
right? Let's get to it then.
Let's see it. Let's go.
So there we have it. That was myself sitting down with Chris and Sian Lawlor talking about Sinners. I'm glad they enjoyed it. That's what it's all, and that's what this podcast is all about. It's all about saying to somebody, "Have you seen?" And then them saying no, and then you enjoying them watching it, or they might not like it, and that's absolutely fine too. And if they don't like it, then you can have a discussion about it, and you can debate what's happened in the film and what you like about it, what they don't like about it, and that's what it's all about. It's opening the conversation. They've come back and they've told me to watch Compliance, so I mean, slight behind the scenes here. We've already watched Compliance. I'm going to watch it now. We watched it back then, and what I'm going to do is edit it all in. We've recorded the episode, and that'll be on next week's episode. So you'll get to see what I think about Compliance. So why don't you go and watch Compliance and see what you think? See if you agree with us next week. It's a very interesting film, and it'll be good to find out if you've seen it. Write us a review and I'll read them out on next week's episode because it'd be really good to hear what other people think about the film that we're going to be watching on the show. And that's what it's all about. So if you've got a film that you think, oh, he really needs to watch that, or, you know, that you keep telling people to watch, then let me know. Just a quick bonus review. One that I've actually watched today is there's a brand new shark film coming out called Chum that's going to be in the cinemas in, I think, on the 18th of August. So it's a shark film, and the only real person that you'll know in there is Alice Eve, who plays the main part. And so I've actually been in a film with Alice Eve. If you go back to a few earlier podcasts, I was in a film called Tinseltown. I was an extra. I was just in the background, and Alice Eve was in the scene that I was in. So I've actually acted in a scene with Alice Eve. There you go. So now she's in Chum. The whole story is about a guy who, at the beginning, loses his wife. His wife ends up in the sea. She gets eaten by a shark. Fast forward a few years. Alice Eve and her character is getting married to a guy. They seem to have a bit of tension. The next morning after the wedding, they're kind of splitting up, but they go on a boat ride with some friends. Naturally, something happens to the boat. Shark attacks them. Shark eats a lot of people. They end up on another boat, and they end up with a guy who has just decided that he wants to be killing people out at sea. So he just starts. So not only have they got to fight against the shark, but they've got to fight against him as well. Now, the film has got a lot of AI in it, so most of the shark attack scenes are done using AI. And in all fairness, I've always been against AI, but when it's done properly and it's used well like this, I actually don't mind it. So I watched another shark film the other week called The Devil's Mouth that was pretty much atrocious. This is a lot better, and I don't mind AI if it's done well. The story's a bit naff, but then it's a shark film. It's a film about a lot of people who you don't like getting eaten by a shark, who you're kind of rooting for, and it's not doing any other thing than it always has done in a shark film. So it's worth watching when it comes out. It's good fun. It'll pass 90 minutes of your time. So yeah, that's Chum, and that's coming out to cinemas, I believe, on the 18th of August. So that's it for this week. Remember, you can subscribe to this podcast, please, wherever you're listening to, so you don't miss an episode. You can follow me on Facebook. You just have to search for Dave on Film, or on Instagram with username Dave on Film Reviews, or check out my blog at daveonfilm.uk. Or check my blog out, even, at daveonfilm.co.uk. I'll put all the links in the chat. I'm not even going to edit that out. I got tongue-tied then, and it's because I was trying to think of what the website was too fast. But there we go. That is this week's episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, comment away. Let me know what you think. Drop us a line. Tell us what you've been watching, and I'll read out your comments on next week's episode. But for now, keep that flux capacitor. But for now, keep those time circuits on and that flux capacitor fluxing.